Divorce is one of the most intense emotional experiences you can face. The whirlwind of feelings that come with it, sadness, anger, guilt, relief, confusion, can feel overwhelming, like a storm cloud hanging over you. But what if I told you that feeling these emotions is not only okay, it's the first step toward healing? It's time to stop running from your emotions, to stop pretending you're fine. It's time to acknowledge what you're truly feeling and give yourself the space to heal. Divorce often brings a mix of emotions, all of which can be intense and conflicting. You may feel sadness when you think about the future you once envisioned, or anger about the things that went wrong. Relief might even surface because deep down, you know this was the right decision for your mental and emotional well-being. It's perfectly normal to feel all these things at once. What's important is this: acknowledging your feelings is the key to moving forward. You might want to push these emotions aside. Tell yourself to just move on or don't feel that way. But I'm here to tell you that suppressing your emotions will only make the healing process longer. It's essential to face the feelings that arise, no matter how uncomfortable they may seem. The emotional impact of divorce doesn't just go away. In fact, trying to avoid it only allows it to grow and take deeper root within you. So, what does healing truly begin with? The answer is simple: acknowledging your feelings. Give yourself permission to feel. You are allowed to feel whatever it is you're feeling without judgment. Take a moment each day to check in with yourself. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and honestly ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? At first, it might be hard to put words to it. Maybe you feel a little of everything: sadness, anger, guilt, relief, confusion. All of these emotions are natural responses to a relationship ending. You may also feel lost, disconnected from the person you used to be. You may question your identity or wonder what your future will look like. These are all valid feelings. The most important thing is not to suppress them, but rather to embrace them. Feel them fully and let them pass through you. As you acknowledge these emotions, you are allowing yourself to begin the healing process. Recognizing and naming your feelings gives you the power to understand them. It helps you move from a place of confusion to clarity. Every time you accept what you feel, no matter how difficult, it's one step closer to healing. There's a misconception that we should get over our emotions quickly. But healing doesn't have a timeline. You can't rush it. Some days will be harder than others, and that's okay. Healing is not linear, and there is no right way to feel. You are not broken for feeling all these emotions. You are human. The process of grieving and healing may take time, but it starts by giving yourself permission to acknowledge everything that you are feeling. Take a moment each day, even for just 5 minutes, to reflect on how you're truly feeling, whether it's by journaling, talking to a friend, or simply being still. Give yourself the space to process and acknowledge your emotions. By acknowledging what you're going through, you are not only taking control of your healing process, but you're also freeing yourself from the weight of your emotions. Don't let the fear of feeling or the shame of emotion hold you back. Letting go of the need to be perfectly fine is empowering. It's the first step toward true emotional recovery. You are in control of your healing, and it starts with this: acknowledge your feelings. Only by recognizing them can you start to release the power they have over you. And once you do that, healing begins. Divorce is not just the end of a relationship, it's also a form of loss. And with any loss, there comes grief. It's important to understand that grief is a completely natural response to the emotional toll of divorce. You might not only mourn the end of the marriage itself, but also the future you once envisioned together, the hopes, the dreams, and the plans you had as a couple. They're no longer part of your reality. And that kind of loss can stir up deep, overwhelming emotions. At this moment, you may be feeling a sense of disbelief, as if it's hard to accept what has happened. You may even feel regret or guilt. Grief comes in many shapes and sizes, and there's no one right way to grieve. Some people experience it in waves, while others feel it more like a constant dull ache. But one thing is for sure, grief is an essential part of the healing process. You cannot skip it, and you cannot rush it. It's not something to be fixed quickly, it's something that must be felt and allowed. Allow yourself to grieve in your own time. Don't let anyone tell you when or how you should be over it. Healing from grief doesn't happen on a set schedule. It's okay to feel a range of emotions, and it's okay to feel them for as long as you need to. Grieving is not a linear process. It's gradual, and each step forward, no matter how small, is progress. You might find yourself grieving the loss of your identity, the person you were while married. Or perhaps you're grieving the loss of shared dreams, the future you had envisioned together, which is no longer possible. These are profound losses. And while others might expect you to get over it quickly, the truth is, grief doesn't work that way. When we grieve, we allow ourselves to let go of what was and open up space for something new. Grief gives us permission to mourn what was lost and to slowly heal from the pain of that loss. But grief also makes room for growth. Each step of the way, as painful as it may be, grief paves the way for healing, allowing you to eventually come to a place of acceptance and peace. If you've been struggling with the thought that you should be better by now, or feeling pressure to move on too quickly, know that this is normal. Grief takes time. It's a slow, sometimes unpredictable process, and sometimes the grief may feel overwhelming. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel sad, angry, or frustrated. Every emotion you experience is part of the process. And by allowing yourself to fully experience it, you are moving closer to healing. Don't rush through your grief. Give yourself the time and space you need. Whether it takes weeks, months, or even longer, let your emotions flow naturally. Healing happens gradually, one step at a time, so be patient with yourself as you navigate through this process. As you grieve, take comfort in knowing that it's a natural and necessary part of your emotional recovery. You don't need to suppress your feelings to heal quickly. Instead, you need to honor them, feel them deeply, and let them move through you in their own time. You might also experience surges of grief at unexpected moments, perhaps when you're doing something that reminds you of your former partner, or when a thought of your life together crosses your mind. These moments may feel heavy and consuming, but with each moment, remember this: you are not alone in your grief, and you are not broken. It's a part of the healing journey. Allow yourself to feel each wave of grief as it comes, but also remind yourself that it will pass. Grief is not something that stays forever. It may return in waves, but with each wave, you'll find your strength and resilience growing. It's okay to not have all the answers, and it's okay to not know exactly when the pain will subside. The important part is that you are honoring your grief, giving it the space it deserves, and allowing yourself to heal. Through this process, you will eventually reach a place where the pain of the loss is no longer overwhelming. And when that time comes, you'll be stronger, wiser, and more connected to your true self than ever before. Divorce can often feel incredibly isolating. It's one of those life experiences where, even if you have a supportive circle of family and friends, there are moments when you feel as though no one truly understands what you're going through. It's as if you're carrying the weight of this monumental change all by yourself. But the truth is, you don't have to go through it alone. One of the most important things you can do for your emotional recovery is to seek professional support. Therapists, counselors, and support groups offer a safe, non-judgmental space where you can express your feelings, gain perspective, and find clarity amidst the emotional chaos. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, and trying to sort through your emotions by yourself can often make things harder. Seeking help from a professional isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It's about recognizing that you deserve support and the space to heal. Reach out to a counselor or therapist who specializes in divorce or emotional healing. These professionals are equipped to help you process the complex emotions that come with the end of a relationship. Having someone to talk to, someone who understands what you're experiencing, can make a significant difference in your recovery. Going through a divorce is a major life transition, and it's natural to need help as you navigate this emotional journey. Talking to someone who is professionally trained to understand the intricacies of divorce and the impact it has on mental health can provide tremendous relief. You may feel like you're on an emotional roller coaster, unsure of your next step, or overwhelmed by the constant rush of feelings. A professional can help you navigate these emotions, find practical coping strategies, and even guide you in understanding the root causes of your feelings. Sometimes we find it hard to see things clearly when we're in the midst of the emotional storm. A therapist can offer a different perspective, helping you gain clarity about what you're going through and what steps you need to take toward healing. They can also help you manage the stress, process the grief, and explore healthy ways of coping with the changes in your life. Therapists can help you with more than just the pain of divorce. They can also assist with rediscovering yourself and developing a new sense of self-worth after a relationship has ended. In many cases, they can help you rebuild your emotional resilience, offering tools and techniques to help you move forward. Another important aspect of professional support is group therapy or support groups. These groups are made up of people who are going through similar experiences, and they offer an opportunity to connect with others who truly understand what you're going through. The power of shared experiences cannot be underestimated. It's comforting to know that you're not alone, that others have been through the same thing and are on their own path to recovery. Support groups create a sense of community and belonging during a time when it may feel like everything has fallen apart. Consider looking for a support group, either in person or online, where you can connect with others who are going through a divorce. It can be a source of comfort to share your experiences and listen to others who are healing too. Don't let pride or fear stop you from seeking help. You deserve to heal, and professional support can be a key part of that process. Therapists and counselors are there to guide you, help you make sense of your emotions, and provide the tools you need to regain control of your life. By reaching out to them, you are taking an important step toward taking care of your mental health and emotional well-being. Remember, healing doesn't happen in isolation. It happens when we allow ourselves to be supported, to be heard, and to be guided on our path to recovery. So, give yourself permission to seek the help you deserve and take that first step toward a brighter, healthier future. When going through a divorce, it's easy to feel isolated and like you're navigating this journey on your own. The emotional weight can feel so heavy, And sometimes the world seems like it's moving on while you're stuck in a state of emotional turmoil. But what if I told you that the best way to start healing is by surrounding yourself with others? Lean on your support system, those friends, family members, and loved ones who truly care about you. It's easy to believe that you should be able to handle everything on your own, that you need to be strong and move on without asking for help. But in reality, no one heals in isolation. In fact, support is one of the most crucial parts of the healing process. While professional help is important, the love and comfort you get from those who know you best can make all the difference. Don't be afraid to lean on others, whether it's for advice, emotional support, or simply a comforting presence. Sometimes just having someone listen can make a world of difference, and the comfort of knowing you're not alone can help ease the feelings of loneliness. Reaching out to your friends and family during this time of pain doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. You don't have to carry this burden alone. The people who care about you want to be there for you, and they want to help you heal. Allow them to do so. Sometimes the smallest gestures can provide the most relief. It might be a friend offering to take a walk with you, a loved one giving you a listening ear, or simply sharing a meal with someone who makes you feel safe and loved. These little moments of connection can be the very thing that helps you regain your strength. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking you're a burden when you ask for help, but I want to remind you, support is a two-way street. Just as you'd be there for someone you love, the people around you want to be there for you. Let them show you that love. Lean on them when you need to, and give them the opportunity to help you heal. But what if you don't have a large circle of friends or family to lean on? Support doesn't always have to come from those closest to you. If you don't feel like you have someone you can reach out to in your immediate circle, consider finding a support group or community, online or in person. Connecting with others who are going through similar experiences can help you feel seen, heard, and understood. If you don't have a close support network, consider joining a support group. Connecting with others who are going through the same thing can be a source of comfort and healing. You're not alone in this, and being part of a community can help you regain hope. It's natural to feel vulnerable when you open up to others, but vulnerability is a sign of courage, not weakness. Reaching out and asking for support is an act of self-care. It shows that you value your well-being enough to allow others to help you. Don't let pride or fear stop you from reaching out. You deserve support, and healing starts with allowing others to be there for you. Sometimes, just knowing that someone cares can make the journey feel less lonely. And while those who love you can't take away your pain, they can walk alongside you during this difficult time, offering comfort, understanding, and a sense of connection. Allow their presence to help ease your feelings of loneliness and remind you that you don't have to face this alone. Going through a divorce can feel like it takes everything from you. It doesn't just affect your emotions, it impacts your physical health too. The stress, the sleepless nights, the emotional pain. You might find yourself eating poorly, avoiding exercise, or simply not taking care of your body the way you used to. But in order to heal, your mind and body need to work together. It's time to take the first step in reclaiming your health, because when you take care of your physical well-being, you create the foundation for emotional healing as well. The emotional weight of divorce can leave you feeling physically drained, exhausted, or even sick. Stress affects everything, from your sleep patterns to your immune system. It can lead to headaches, fatigue, and a feeling of constant tension. That's why it's crucial to focus on your body as part of your recovery. Your body needs nourishment, rest, and movement to keep up with the emotional strain. Small. You don't need to overhaul your entire routine right away. Just take a short walk outside, eat a healthy meal, and focus on getting enough rest. It's about making small, manageable changes that support your physical and mental well-being. You might feel like exercise is the last thing on your mind, or that taking the time to eat nutritious meals feels overwhelming. But even the smallest steps can have a significant impact. Start by getting outside for a brief walk. It doesn't matter if it's just 10 minutes. Getting fresh air and moving your body can do wonders for your mood and help reduce stress. When you're stressed, your body becomes tense, and walking helps release that tension while giving you a break from your emotions. Eating a balanced diet can also be a game changer.
Hi, pets. It's Freebic for my chair.
Nourish your body with healthy foods, rich in nutrients. When you're emotionally drained, you might crave comfort foods or skip meals altogether. But fueling your body with healthy options can improve your energy levels, stabilize your mood, and give you the strength you need to keep moving forward. Focus on simple, nutritious meals. Avoid relying on junk food, which can leave you feeling sluggish. Opt for foods that boost your energy and give you long-lasting nutrients, like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. One of the biggest challenges during stressful times is getting enough rest. You might find that your mind races at night, keeping you awake. Or you might feel physically tired but struggle to fall asleep due to anxiety or emotional pain. Prioritize good sleep hygiene by creating a calming evening routine, avoiding screens before bed, and making your sleep environment as relaxing as possible. Rest isn't just for your body, it's essential for your mind. Sleep helps your brain process emotions, and it allows your body to restore and recover. Set a consistent bedtime. Avoid caffeine late in the day, and practice relaxation techniques before sleep. Meditation or deep breathing exercises can help ease you into a restful night. You may not feel like it now, but physical activity can be a natural outlet for stress. Exercise releases endorphins, your body's natural feel-good hormones. It lifts your mood, reduces anxiety, and helps you feel more connected to your body. The best part is, it doesn't need to be a high-intensity workout. You can start by taking slow walks in nature, doing yoga or stretching. The key is to move your body in ways that feel gentle and supportive. Remember, healing is not just about your emotional state. It's about your overall well-being. Taking small steps to take care of your body will help you manage the emotional strain of divorce. By focusing on your physical health, you build the resilience you need to face the emotional challenges ahead. Divorce takes a toll on more than just your heart and mind. It can also drain your energy, your motivation, and your sense of self. During this time, it's crucial to put yourself first. Self-care isn't just about bubble baths and relaxation. It's about actively tending to your mental, emotional, and physical health. Taking care of yourself during this time of emotional upheaval is critical to your healing process. The more you nurture yourself, the better equipped you will be to handle the emotions and challenges that come with this difficult chapter in your life. Spending time in nature is also an incredibly powerful way to heal. Nature has a grounding effect that can help you reset your mind and bring you back to the present moment. Whether you go for a walk in a park, hike in the mountains, or simply sit by a quiet stream, nature provides a peaceful environment where you can just be. The sounds, the sights, and the fresh air help calm your nervous system, lower stress, and promote a sense of well-being. Take time to go outside, whether for a short walk or just sitting outside for a few minutes each day. Nature can have a profound impact on your mental health and emotional balance. Self-care isn't a one-time act. It's a lifestyle. It's about creating habits that nurture your mind, body, and soul. When you give yourself permission to take breaks, to rest, and to focus on activities that bring you joy, you're telling yourself that you matter. It's easy to get wrapped up in the aftermath of a divorce, but your healing requires intentional effort. Each small act of self-care strengthens your resilience and brings you one step closer to peace. Divorce is often accompanied by a heavy mix of anger and blame. It's natural to feel angry, hurt, or betrayed by the end of a relationship. There's a part of you that wants to point fingers, to blame your ex-partner for the pain you're feeling. You may find yourself replaying the moments where things went wrong, where the relationship faltered, where you felt wronged or misunderstood. But holding on to that anger and resentment doesn't help you move forward. In fact, it only delays your healing and weighs you down. Forgiveness may feel like a distant or impossible goal when you're in the thick of these emotions. It's difficult to imagine forgiving someone who hurt you so deeply, especially when the pain is raw and fresh. But the truth is, forgiveness is not about excusing the actions of others. It's about freeing yourself from the heavy burden of anger and resentment. Practice self-compassion and focus on letting go of the past. Forgiveness isn't about justifying the hurtful actions of others. It's about releasing yourself from the emotional grip of anger and finding peace. When we hold on to blame, we stay emotionally tied to the past. We give that person power over our current well-being, allowing them to continue influencing our mood, our thoughts, and our lives, long after the relationship has ended. But by holding on to the anger, we only continue to hurt ourselves. You might think that by blaming your ex, you are somehow punishing them for what they did, but in reality, the only person suffering is you. Forgiveness allows you to take back control. It's a decision to no longer let the past dictate your present happiness. It's a choice to stop letting the actions of others determine how you feel today. But forgiveness doesn't mean you forget what happened or allow yourself to be mistreated again. It's about healing and letting go of the negative emotions that keep you stuck. You may feel that forgiving your ex means you're letting them off the hook, but that's not the case. Forgiveness is for you, not them. It's about releasing the grip that anger, guilt, or resentment has on your heart. It's about finding peace within yourself, independent of your past relationship. Forgiveness isn't a one-time event, it's a process. Start by forgiving yourself for holding on to the pain. Then, as you heal, gradually work toward releasing the anger you feel toward your ex. You don't need to rush the process. Forgiveness takes time. It's also essential to forgive yourself. Divorce often brings with it feelings of guilt, questions of what you could have done differently, what you might have missed, or whether you made the right choice. You may feel like you failed in the relationship or that you're somehow at fault. But holding on to self-blame only adds to the emotional burden. You are not perfect, and neither is your ex, but you are doing the best you can. Forgiving yourself means letting go of the unrealistic expectations you've placed on yourself. It means acknowledging your flaws and mistakes without letting them define you. It means giving yourself grace and allowing yourself to heal from the past without carrying the weight of guilt. Give yourself permission to forgive yourself. Understand that mistakes happen, but they do not define who you are or your future. You are worthy of peace and happiness. Forgiveness is ultimately a gift you give to yourself. When you let go of the anger, you free yourself to create a new, peaceful future. You begin to take back your emotional energy, and you create the space for healing and growth. In the process of forgiveness, you will find that peace follows. You will feel lighter, unburdened by the weight of past hurts. And though it may take time, eventually you will reach a point where you no longer need to carry the burden of blame or anger. You'll be able to look forward with a clear heart, knowing that you have freed yourself from the emotional weight that divorce left behind. Divorce often leaves us feeling like we've lost a part of ourselves. For years, you may have defined yourself through the relationship. through the plans you had and the life you built together. But now that the dust has settled and the relationship has ended, you might feel like a stranger in your own life, unsure of who you are outside of the role you once played. This feeling is completely normal. But here's the empowering truth. Divorce is an opportunity to rediscover who you are, to reclaim your identity, and to start anew. When we're in a relationship, we can often lose sight of what we truly want, what makes us happy, and what we're passionate about. Your dreams, your goals, your hobbies, they may have taken a back seat to the relationship, to the shared goals and commitments. But now, in the space left behind, there's a chance to explore what truly lights you up. Divorce isn't just an end. It's also the beginning of a new chapter. It's the moment when you can start rediscovering yourself outside of the relationship. What did you love to do before? What brought you joy and fulfillment? Now is the time to ask yourself, who are you? What do you want to explore moving forward? Take up new hobbies or revisit old ones. Travel, try new activities, or simply take time to reflect on your personal growth. You are more than your past relationship, and it's time to reconnect with the things that bring you joy. You may find that you've completely forgotten some of the things you used to enjoy. Maybe you were once an avid reader, a painter, or someone who loved hiking on weekends. Now is the time to rekindle those interests. If you've always wanted to try something new, now is the perfect opportunity. Whether it's learning an instrument, taking up photography, or diving into a new fitness routine, find the things that excite you. These activities don't just occupy your time, they help you reconnect with yourself and remind you of who you are outside of the marriage. Rediscovery doesn't have to be about big changes or drastic measures. Sometimes it's simply about reclaiming your space, your mental space, your emotional space, and your physical space. It could be as simple as redecorating a room, organizing your closet, or getting rid of old mementos that no longer serve you. These small acts can symbolize the new chapter you are stepping into. But rediscovery also involves stepping outside your comfort zone. You may feel unsure of yourself, hesitant to make decisions, or afraid of venturing into new territory. But growth comes from pushing beyond fear, from trying things that challenge you. Consider traveling to a place you've always wanted to visit, or starting a new class or hobby that excites you. Doing so will expand your sense of self and give you the confidence to move forward, knowing that you can create a life that aligns with your passions. Take time for reflection. Sit quietly with yourself. Write in a journal or meditate. Ask yourself, what do I want from life moving forward? This quiet reflection helps you clarify your goals and reconnect with your inner desires. This is also a time to reflect on your personal growth. Divorce may have changed you in ways you didn't expect, and that's okay. You may have become stronger, more independent, or more resilient. Reflect on the lessons you've learned, the strength you've gained, and the new qualities you've developed during this challenging time. You are constantly evolving, and now is the time to appreciate how far you've come. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and remember, this process doesn't happen overnight. Rediscovery is a journey, not a destination. Take your time exploring new aspects of yourself and allow this period of self-exploration to be fulfilling. As you rediscover who you are, you'll begin to feel more at home with yourself, more empowered, and ready for the future that lies ahead. After a divorce, one of the most important steps in your emotional healing is establishing new boundaries. This might seem like a challenge, especially if you share children or other responsibilities with your ex. But the reality is, creating healthy boundaries is essential for both your emotional well-being and the future of any shared commitments. Setting boundaries isn't about creating distance or closing doors. It's about creating the space you need to heal while ensuring that your relationship with your ex remains respectful, healthy, and you may find yourself in situations where the lines between personal life and shared responsibilities blur, especially if co-parenting is involved. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the constant communication, the emotional exchanges, and the decisions that still need to be made together. But boundaries help bring clarity. They allow you to focus on your own healing while also ensuring that your interactions with your ex are manageable and respectful. Set clear limits on communication, and create structured interactions when necessary. It's not about cutting your ex off completely, it's about making sure that communication is focused on the important things like co-parenting, finances, or shared responsibilities. When you're constantly in communication with your ex, whether it's about the kids or logistics, it's easy for old emotional patterns to resurface. Arguments can ignite. Feelings of frustration or resentment can crop up, and before you know it, the cycle of negativity can begin again. This is where clear boundaries come into play. By defining the limits of your interactions, you create a healthier space for yourself, one that is free from unnecessary emotional triggers. Boundaries might mean deciding when and how often you'll communicate with your ex. It might mean limiting conversations to certain topics only, keeping the focus on co-parenting, finances, or other necessary matters. It might also mean establishing time limits for meetings or discussions so they don't drag on and lead to unnecessary emotional strain. But boundaries aren't just about limiting contact. They are about respecting each other's space. Sometimes this means communicating only through neutral means, such as email or a co-parenting app, to avoid triggering past emotions. Other times, it might mean agreeing to only speak to each other during certain hours of the day to avoid disrupting personal time or space. Setting these limits is a way of taking control of your emotional space and ensuring that your interactions remain as respectful and manageable as possible. Create a structure for interactions. For example, if you need to make decisions about your children, agree to communicate through an email thread or co-parenting app rather than texting or calling in the middle of the night. This keeps things professional and focused. You might feel guilty about setting boundaries, especially if you're still dealing with feelings of hurt or guilt. But remember, boundaries are not about punishing your ex or being distant. They are about protecting yourself and creating the emotional space you need to heal. By establishing boundaries, you are also teaching your ex how to treat you with respect, which is a critical part of building a new kind of relationship after divorce. In some cases, you might need to have a direct conversation with your ex about what you need to make co-parenting or shared responsibilities work. Be clear, but also compassionate. Setting boundaries can sometimes feel uncomfortable at first, but it is absolutely necessary for creating a balanced relationship moving forward. Healthy boundaries reduce stress, promote healthier interactions, and give you the mental space to focus on your own healing. Lastly, setting boundaries doesn't mean you're closing yourself off from cooperation. It just means you're prioritizing your emotional health while still fulfilling your commitments. You are allowed to be kind to yourself, to have time and space for your own growth, and to protect yourself from unnecessary stress. Remember, it's okay to say no. If something doesn't feel right, or if it's going to interfere with your healing process, trust yourself and set a boundary. Prioritize your emotional well-being. As you begin to establish these boundaries, you'll start to feel a sense of control. You'll realize that you don't need to be overwhelmed by constant communication or expectations from your ex. You'll find peace in knowing that you are creating a new dynamic that is focused on respect, understanding, and healing. Healing after a divorce can feel like a never-ending journey. Some days, you may feel like you're making progress, and other days, the weight of the pain can feel overwhelming. It's natural to want the healing process to be quick, to wake up one day and feel whole again. But the reality is, healing is a long-term process, and it doesn't follow a strict timeline. Some days will be easier than others, and that's perfectly okay. The key to moving forward is not to rush your healing, but to take it one day at a time. When you're in the thick of emotional pain, it's easy to become fixated on the idea of getting over it as quickly as possible. But healing doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, patience, and compassion toward yourself. Instead of trying to tackle everything at once, break the journey into smaller, more manageable steps. Focus on the moment, the day, and trust that the bigger picture will reveal itself in time. Break down your healing process into small, achievable goals. Focus on getting through one moment, one day, one step at a time, and trust that the bigger picture will unfold as you move forward. Healing doesn't mean being perfectly happy every day or completely over it in a short period. It's okay to have ups and downs. Some days, you may feel like you've taken 2 steps forward, and other days, you might feel like you've taken a step backward. But progress is progress, no matter how small. On the hard days, remember that it's okay to feel sad, frustrated, or even hopeless at times. Those emotions are just part of the process. Acknowledge them, but don't let them define you. You are not stuck in your pain forever. One of the best things you can do is set small, achievable goals for yourself. These goals don't need to be monumental. They can be simple, small actions that move you toward healing. Maybe your goal today is simply to get out of bed, take a shower, or eat a healthy meal. Maybe it's to walk outside for 10 minutes or to journal your thoughts. Celebrate those small victories because each one brings you closer to emotional recovery. Instead of focusing on how long the journey will take, focus on what you can control today. What can you do in this moment that will help you heal, however small it may seem? Maybe today, your goal is to take time for self-care, or maybe it's reaching out to a supportive friend for a conversation. Perhaps it's just taking a break from the emotional chaos and allowing yourself to rest. Focus on one step at a time and trust that those steps will eventually lead to healing. As you break down your recovery into smaller steps, remember that each day is a new opportunity for healing. Don't judge yourself based on how quickly or slowly you're moving. Everyone heals at their own pace. The important thing is that you are moving forward, no matter how small the steps may seem. If you find yourself looking too far into the future, it can feel overwhelming. Instead, try to stay present in the moment. Focus on today. How are you feeling right now? What can you do today to feel a little better? And when you reflect back after a few weeks or months, you'll be amazed at how far you've come, even though it felt like small progress each day. Take a moment to reflect at the end of each day. Ask yourself, what did I achieve today? How did I take care of myself today? Celebrate those small steps and remind yourself that healing is happening, one day at a time. Healing is not about perfection. It's about moving forward, even if that means taking tiny steps. Over time, those small steps add up to big changes. Eventually, you'll look back and see that the pain, while still part of you, no longer has the hold it once did. You'll have built a new sense of strength, resilience, and peace through the process. So, be kind to yourself. Don't rush your healing. And don't be too hard on yourself during the more difficult days. Take it one day at a time. And trust that with each moment you're allowing yourself to heal, you are creating a stronger, more peaceful version of yourself. The bigger picture will unfold when it's meant to. And in the meantime, trust in your journey.